Hi, this is Michael Love, the Teaching Fellow for Data Analysis for Genomics. In this module, I'm going to briefly introduce the RStudio environment. RStudio has 4 panels: the source, the console, the environment or history panel, and then a 4th panel for help and plots and others, depending on which tab you click. The console is where you would type in R expressions and have the output printed. So here we're typing in the numbers 1 to 10, and we can save them to a variable x. And then if you click environment in the top right panel, you can see this value x, the variable x, which has the values 1 to 10. In the top left, you can write this out in the source panel. In order to run a command from the source panel, you can either click the button Run, or you can use the keyboard shortcut Control Enter. So typically we use the keyboard shortcut, so you don't have to use the mouse. So here we can write another expression, saving the value to y, and we can plot x and y, and then when we hit Control Enter, the plot shows up in the bottom right corner. And you can use the export function here to save plots to either PNG or other JPEG or PDF files. Here we're saving to a PDF, and it will show you the nicely rendered PDF file on your machine. Now I'm going to continue working in the source panel. I'm going to fit a linear model, modeling y on x, and then press Control Enter to put this into the console. And in the top right panel, we can see that there's a value fit, which is a list. And if you click the little blue button, it expands to show all the information which is stored in the variable fit, which contains all the information about the linear model. So these are basically all the functions that we'll need for the class, but I'd like to show you another function that RStudio has, which is nice for doing data analysis. So RStudio has the ability to save and compile documents which show the summary of a data analysis. So previously we had saved the file as a .r script, and now I'm going to save it as a .rmd file, which stands for R Markdown. Markdown is a very simple way to annotate text, where a pound is used to indicate a title, and you can use these backticks to indicate a piece of code. And so it's a way to separate text and code, and a way to easily document your code and what you're doing and why. So here I'm going to include some plain text which just introduces this code chunk saying that now I'm fitting a linear model. And RStudio has the ability to then output the analysis as an HTML file. So this has the title and the text, and then has the code, which is in the gray box, and any plots which are generated or other R output which is generated will be saved in this file, and you can then save and publish these HTML files. Aside from the RMD, the R Markdown, there's another format which is common, which is the RSweave format. The RSweave files are LaTeX instead of Markdown, so they have the document class and begin document, which is maybe a little harder to start from scratch, but otherwise it's very similar. The code chunks are delineated using a different annotation, but these can be inserted from the code menu item. And so the Sweave files have this .rnw ending. And these can be very easily compiled into PDF files. So here we've generated a PDF which also contains the code and the output and the plots. And these, maybe the PDFs are then easier to email around versus publishing HTML files.